And you're gonna be like, no, it's not. Go die. And you're gonna have to like stay in your base and let your ancients fight while you're hiding behind your ancients and stuff, you know, and be by your moonwells, because all you have right now is slow, and you don't have enough units. Like Night Elf is like really strong in numbers. So if you only have a couple dryads, a couple dots, and you focus down a unit or two, you know, they're gonna get away because you don't have enough ranged and enough units to focus down anything. So, you know, it's pretty much like the GG. So the orc has raiders, so you know you can't micro with raiders and snare. You just can't. So that's stupid. So yeah, so that's bad. By the way, I forgot to point out the expansions. Alright, so the orc was expanding around that time because there's two things. There's a couple things you could do in orc versus night elf matchup. And when the night elf goes hunts in your orc, you can either go grunt raider pull with a shadow hunter second, or you can go wyverns up to like what he did, and then throw up an expo, because you know you're gonna if the orc has wyverns and you only have like four hunts, and you're starting to get a couple archers, and the orc has like wyverns and a shadow hunter, you're not gonna be able to fend that off. So you know he has like a little bit of the upper hand after you get done pushing on him and stuff. So that's why you got an expo up. Now Bubble Song scouted that expo a while back with a hawk, and so he had to throw up his own expo to cancel that out. And by the way, he got a really nice creep jack, but the orc fended off really well and killed the second hero, which is good. And there goes the Blade Master getting owned really hard in the face. And the orc is like, it's time to pick up some mercs. I gotta go pick up some mercs. So that's what the orc's doing, and this is the really unlucky part. This is for the orc player right here. He gets a nice ensnare, but ends up losing it, or gets a nice surround and ends up losing it. And ouch, that really hurt. All right, so when the Demon Hunter was mana burning, it wasn't worth mana burning like 37 mana off the Blade Master and then running off. That's just stupid. You don't want to do that, because it's even if you had 75 mana and you're in that situation, it's only one Windwalk the Blade Master is going to get. Big deal, you know? It's not a bunch. So, you know, you don't want to risk your TP or your hero for that. That just is a bad idea. So, when he was surrounded, you noticed him mana burning the Shadow Hunter, so the Shadow Hunter couldn't hex again, so the orc couldn't get a good surround off him again, and that was good by the elf player. So elf player's running around looking for a camp to creep, and he creep jacks him yet again. Now, you know, people are going to be like, oh my god, hacks, WTF, but then again, you know, it's kind of obvious in a sense, because he's starting to notice the orcs like picking up mass mercs, so, you know, obviously he's going to be looking for those mercs. Now, the Night Elf is in no position to fight right now against that orc. Like, it's a 52 food army versus a 61 food army, which is really bad. And he's ensnaring all his stuff, so he better TP right here, and I think he does, because that'll be not such a good idea if he does not TP. Ooh. Alright, maybe? No, actually, they're trading off units pretty well. Alright, so I see what he's thinking. That's fine. He's trading off some units, alright, you know. So, alright, right here, he definitely, yep, there we go. See, the TP goes off. Smart move by the elf player. You know, he just saved all of his units that were ensnared just now, so that's good. And the orc has extra fairy fire on him now, so that's another 2 minutes of map hack for the elf player to know. By the way, I am so stupid. I like don't know why my head is up my ass right now, but he had fairy fire on him and he was creeping. So yeah, I'm pretty much a dumbass right now. I feel really dumb. I don't feel too smart. That's bad. Yeah, that's really bad. Alright, so he had fairy fire on him, and I'm dumbass over here saying, oh, it's a lucky creep jack. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I had Fog of War off. That's my excuse. I don't have Fog of War on, so fuck you guys. Damn. Such an idiot. Anyways. Alright, so he's looking for another fight. He has mass dryads now. My opinion, Dryad should be able to abolish those damn wards. Like, for you orc players, that Shadow Hunter with those wards is like sex. Like, it owns all of the Night Elf units so hard. You have no idea. Look at them. They're like do 41 to 50 or 41 to 45 damage, and all like Night Elf units are unarmored basically. Like except for like a couple archers, bears, mountain giants, and a couple others, but Jesus Christ, dude, look, he's like using all unarmored units right now, so those wards are like owning him really hard. So that's bad. And the orc player right now is trying to focus down that DH, and what do you know, Staff of Preservation goes off, and that's not good. Now the Blade Master dies too from chasing it. Yeah, the elf player was chasing the Blade Master, that's good. And all those dryads are gonna get owned. And pretty much. Now, don't alright, in Night Elf Mirror and Night Elf versus Human, the Night Elf is like really quick about getting the Staff of Preservation. Don't be so quick about getting the Staff of Preservation. It's not like a definite must. I mean, it's good to have, but they can nullify the Staff of Preservation very easily. All they have to do is ensnare your unit, or ensnare whatever they want to kill, and you can't preserve it. It needs to, you know, it needs to be like movable units, you know? I mean, you can preserve something that's stunned, but you can't, like, if your hero's stunned, then you can't preserve anything. But I'm saying, you know, say, like, a bear got Mountain King Bolt on him, then of course you can preserve that. But, for example, right now, if that Raider ensnares that Demon Hunter and he starts focusing it, and even if, I'm pretty sure the staff cooldown's done, the Demon Hunter would not be able to be preserved until he got out of his ensnare. And, so, what I'm trying to say here is, ensnare is ultimately imbalanced, along with every other hero skill and unit skill in this game, and ultimately it all should be nerfed. Yes, everything in this game should be nerfed, so no one can cry about imbalance. We'll make everything do 1 to 2 damage, and no one can say it's imbalanced. Games will last about 10 hours. You know, it'll take like 2 hours for each unit to die, and about 10 hours later, you know, well, I don't know, someone will still find a way to bitch about imbalance. Yeah, so, yeah. Alright, so the orc is picking up some Droll Berserkers, which is the best, one of the best units in the game, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, that's a smart move by the orc, picking up some of them, because they have medium armor, most of the orc stuff is piercing, and they do 28 to 37, plus 3 with the Kodo aura. So they do a fair amount of damage, and against all those unarmored units, because they're doing piercing damage, you know. So that's definitely a good idea to pick some of those up. Now, if he would have, it would have been. I mean, this strat's still good against a Blade Master. Don't get me wrong, but if the orc went like Farseer, oh man, that'd be so much better, because he could just keep dispelling those wolves, and that'd just be like free XP right like that. Right in the beginning of the battle, he'd gain like a bunch of EXP. So, alright, so they're getting to another battle, and alright, good, he uses Abolish Magic on the Hex, which pretty much nullifies the Shadow Hunter's Hex. You should go in there and mana burn that Shadow Hunter, yeah, and that would help him a little bit too. Right now, the elf has fairly good positioning, like, all of his archers and dots are all rather in the back line. Is Demon Hunter and Beastmaster tanking most of the damage, which is good. That that Demon Hunter has invulnerability potion, health potion, and the orc player brought his Blade Master in there again, and pretty much got it owned. I'm not sure what the orc was thinking. I'm pretty sure what the orc was thinking, but I'm not absolutely positively sure. So, oh, look at that. Hold on, before I go over what the orc was thinking. Like, right before that Beastmaster got hit with Ensnare, he preserved it. That was nice. I didn't know you could do that. I thought, like, once Ensnare net was coming at you, but obviously not. That's good. So, wow. But if that Beastmaster would have gotten snared, I'm sure it probably would have been dead, because you can't preserve that. Maybe not. Now, let's see how much mana the Shadow Hunter has. It set down 2 wards, so it would have had wards 30. Yeah, it would have had enough for a hex, so the Beastmaster might have been dead. So that was really good on Bubblesong's part on in preserving that beforehand. Alright, so the orc was probably like not paying attention to Bubble Song's items and didn't see that his beast or that his demon hunter had an invulnerability potion and a potion of health. So he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna trade off my Blade Master for that demon hunter." And unfortunately, no, that was game. So another thing is he could have just not been paying attention. He's like, "Oh my god, I thought I picked up a TP, WTF," and that would have been bad too. Alright, so the Staff of Preservation goes off again on the archer. This late of game is definitely good for a Staff of Preservation because, you know, you both don't have that many units, so there's not that many raiders that are going to have ensnare, but then again, you know, you're not going to have that many units free from ensnare, but whatever units are, you can preserve stuff, so still that worked good. He's just taking out some burrows, running in the base. Right now, alright, this you usually don't want to run into an orc space, but right here is fine because all the burrows are focusing. Summoned units are heroes that are taking reduced damage to piercing, so you know that's fine. That's alright. So he's trying to focus that Shadow Hunter, get him out of the whole deal, but that's not going to work. And he just preserved that dot, so Staff of Preservation is definitely paying off for himself. It's paid off for countable heroes that have been saved by it this game, probably 2 or 3 times, and some units. So 150 gold for that, definitely worth it if you can use it right. He casted Fairy Fire on the Shadow Hunter. I don't know why. He should have casted on a unit, so then he would have pretty much free map hack for another 2 minutes instead of whatever the hero's resistance is. So good game. So pretty much owned, and this is the end of the game. Like, he shouldn't have lost his Blade Master, but he did. Just the elf player pretty much just like microed better than him, even though for the most part of the game, you know, it was the orc having the advantage, you know. But with a Fairy Fire, the orc crept with the Fairy Fire. That wasn't good, and also the orc like. There goes a good game. Also, the orc didn't have good position at all. Like on most of those battles, the orc didn't have good position, so that wasn't good. He had like, I don't know, not good position. He was fighting in narrow spots, and you never really want to fight an elf in a narrow spot if you can't get to his back line. You usually want to get to their weaker units first, you know, and of course the elf's going to be keeping back those weaker units. So that's what you do with Huntresses. Another tip I should have pointed out too during the game was that usually you want your heroes and Huntresses in group 1 with your summons in a sense. Just have them all in one group. That's what I'm saying. Like all your melee in one group that like are really short ranged are melee, like i.e. Huntresses, heroes, etc. Okay, so. Ranged heroes, you know, you could put in group 2 or whatever. Some ghosties do that. So you use attack move with that. So they're all spread out. You know, they pretty much create a wall. If you focus with your melee, they're gonna run around units. They're not gonna be doing any damage at the time they're running around units, while the other army is doing a bunch of damage to you. You know, that could be some of the elf's problems. I've seen a lot of elf players do where they like run their damn. I don't know, just you want to attack move with your front line. Then with your back line, like your dots, your dryads, your archers, everything that's ranged, you put in another group, whatever group you want. You know, I have mine in group 2 and 3 with my ranged summons, And then you hold shift, you focus fire with the units you want to be focused. And pretty much make sure a dot casts Fairy Fire on the unit you want to be focused, so it dies that much faster. It's that much harder for them to micro back, because really with elf, if you don't go like a Keeper of the Grove second, because you know you only really do that on non-tavern maps, you're not gonna have any way of stopping the orc from microing, so you're gonna need that Fairy Fire so you can focus down their grunts a lot more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope the elf players got a little more insight, and I didn't point that much stuff out about the orc, but hope the orcs enjoyed it. And this is Pant3ra signing out.